Hey, what's up everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today doing the breakdown video for Lubin versus Sebastian Fundora as they collide in a final eliminator on Saturday, April 9th in the main event of a Showtime card. This is a big showdown right here. Because the 154-pound division, we're about to see a supposed undisputed champion on May 14th when Jermall Charlo and Brian Castano rematch for the undisputed title. Their first fight ended in a somewhat controversial draw last year. Very good fight, back and forth. But they're going to decide who the undisputed champion is on May 14th. And the reason why that is so significant to this fight between Lubin and Fundora is the winner of Lubin Fundora. First off, this was coming into the March 26th weekend. This was my number 3 and 6 super welterweights at 154 colliding. I had my 4 and 5 guys, Tim Tszyu and Terrell Gausha, going at it. Tim Tszyu won that fight. So now the winner here is essentially going to be in line to fight for the world title, the winner of Charlo and Castano. And I think the winner of, excuse me one second. I personally feel the winner of Charlo and Castano will likely fight the winner of Lubin and Fundora, depending on who it is. If it's Castano, I think Castano would fight the winner because he's, they're PBC guys. But if it's Charlo, he might not want anything to do with the winner. He might move up, but it's more of a PBC fight, even though Tszyu just worked with the PBC. So, it really is going to put Lubin and Fundora, the winner is really going to be right there with Tim Tszyu, like, next in line. And if the winner of the undisputed title fight doesn't fight either one, then the other guy's going to get a shot at the title. So and then they're probably going to fight either Tszyu or the winner of Lubin and Fundora. So a lot of moving pieces involved here, but essentially the winner of this fight is going to be in line to fight for the world title, and it could even be against the new undisputed champion, who, we really don't know who it is. I think it could go either way between Charlo and Castano in their rematch on May 14th. But as of now, the breakdown video that I do is the same. If you haven't seen my breakdown videos, I break down the fight, what it means, and then I break down the fighters. I start with the favorite and I move to the underdog. And in this fight, this is a very close 50-50 fight in terms of what you think is going to happen. But I'm going to start with Lubin and move to Fundora. I ask questions, and then I come back and give my predictions. So I like doing the breakdown videos. These are the videos that get me the most hits. If you like them, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. But let's jump in right now. And we'll start with the undefeated former world title challenger, Lubin. And we start off with what he's doing rolling into this fight. And Lubin is coming off of, probably his career best win, a dominating 6th round knockout win over former unified champion Jason Rosario. That was a big fight last June between the two guys. And Lubin was just trying to reiterate that he's the number 1 contender against Rosario, and body shots just broke down Rosario, stopped him in the 6th round impressively, and really has punched his ticket here. But prior to that, he defeated Terrell Gausha, and has just been rolling ever since his 2017 1st round knockout loss to Jermall Charlo when they fought for the WBC title that night. He got caught with a very good punch in the 1st round and could not recover. But he's bounced back impressively. He's got a boatload of talent. Back when he fought Charlo, I believe he was 22 years old. Now he's, I think he's 26, 27 now. He's still young, but he's seasoned, very seasoned now, and he's experienced, and he's rolling into this fight confident as hell. and he wants to fight for a world title again, and this is his opportunity. So what does he need to do to win this fight? And the truth is he needs the box. He really does need a box. He needs to throw a hard power jab as Fundora is coming in to throw all those punches, but he also needs to be brave and unleash the fury on Fundora when he gets close. He needs to time Fundora and needs to land big shots on Fundora. That left hand needs to be ready to go, because I think he has the power to hurt Fundora. Fundora does not play defense. With his height and reach advantage that he has, he does not play defense. He comes right in, throws a lot of punches, and Lubin needs to be ready to move. But when Fundora comes right into his chest, he needs to hit a hook to the body, and then maybe throw a counter to the head and really try to hurt Fundora early and break him down. And if he does that, I think he might be able to wear down Fundora and possibly stop him, or at least win a decision. So it's not going to be an easy task, but I think Erickson Lubin has the boxing ability and the power to pull this one off, and we're going to see if he can do it. Now, can he win by knockout? And I think he can. The one thing Fundora, again, he doesn't play defense very well. It is who he is. It is who he is as a fighter. It's his style. He comes right at you. He throws a lot of punches, but he doesn't put his guard up while he's doing that. His defense is his offense, basically. That's going to leave opportunities for Lubin. And again, I think Lubin has the power. If Lubin can time him and catch him with a big shot, we have seen Fundora get rocked a little in his fight against Jorge Cota. He does get caught with shots, and I think if Lubin times him and hits him with a very perfectly timed punch, he definitely could hurt him and possibly stop him. So I think the chance of a stoppage is there. Now, can he win a decision? I think he can, but I don't think it's going to be easy because Fundora throws so many damn punches. If this goes to the scorecards, I think it's going to be close. I think Lubin can win, but I don't know if he can dominate a decision here. I'm really interested in seeing the style contrast and how they link up together. I think he can, but I think it's going to be close if it goes to the scorecards. Now, what does a victory mean for Erickson Lubin? And it means everything to him. A win over Fundora, it probably is the biggest win of his career, depending on how he wins, but it probably is anyways, just because Fundora is an undefeated rising star, and he's huge. He's 6'5", and he's got such a big wingspan. He's an undefeated fighter who throws a lot of punches. Jason Rosario, you can say was the biggest win of his career, but the guy had just been, chewed up by Jermell Charlo in his previous fight. This guy hasn't tasted defeat yet. So a win here is huge. It leads him to a title shot, a proposed title shot in his next fight. It's big time for Erickson Lubin if he beats Sebastian Fundora here. What does it mean for him if he loses this fight? Well, obviously, depending on how he loses. I don't think people are going to be surprised if he loses this fight because Fundora is so big and he throws a lot of punches. But if he goes out there and gets his ass whipped, he's back. He goes to the back of the line. If he fights tough and he fights hard, it's back of the line, but it's not. He's going to be considered and still, hey, he just fought a guy who stylistically was just a bad matchup for him. So against other guys more his size, he's going to be okay. I think that's how they'll view it. But a loss is definitely going to hurt Erickson Lubin in this fight if he comes up with a loss here. So now we move on to Sebastian Fundora, the undefeated top contender. Fundora rolling into this fight is coming off of a hard-fought but deserving 12-round unanimous decision over previously undefeated Sergio Garcia that moved him into this position right here to fight for, in a final eliminator. And he's coming to win. Fundora is a fearless guy. He's confident, he's fearless, he's coming in and he wants to win. And I really think he's got a big opportunity in front of him here against Erickson Lubin. So this is a big time matchup. He's been rolling the last couple years since that draw to Jamonte Clark. He's really been rolling through 154, laying guys out and looking impressive. And we're going to see what he does. Now, what kind of style is it going to take to beat Erickson Lubin? And, you know, if Sebastian Fundora is smart, he's going to use his height and reach, and he's going to box the boxer. That's the one. He might not be a better boxer than Lubin, but he has the height and reach advantage, you know, and that can control the action right there. That can control the tempo, and he might be able to just eat up Erickson Lubin if he comes at him like this. But I don't think that's going to be the style that he's going to do. I think that's the style that it's going to take to have the most success. But Fundora is who he is, and I think he's going to come at Erickson Lubin and try to make it a firefight, try to wear him down, and try to stop him, or win a decision like that. And, you know, I just think that's what he's going to do. But he's definitely going to have to separate and create a little bit of distance, because Erickson Lubin can time his punches and does have a punch, and he also is a body puncher. So he's gonna have to have some kind of defense in this fight in order to win, in my opinion. But I really think he's just gonna come and try to mix it up and wear down Lubin. I think that's gonna be a style that he's gonna go with. But I really believe using his height and reach would be huge against a guy like Erickson Lubin, because he's such a good boxer. So we'll see what happens. Now, can Sebastian Fundora win this fight by knockout? I think he can. I think he could probably wear down Erickson Lubin if Lubin gets drawn into his kind of fight and goes at Fundora in a firefight. I think Fundora could probably wear down Erickson Lubin and stop him in the middle to later rounds. I think it's possible. Can Fundora win by a decision? Yeah, I think that's possible. I think if anybody's going to win by a dominant decision, it's going to be Fundora. And it depends on if his style works to wear down and just stand right in front and throw a lot of punches, or if he decides to box. I think he could possibly win a wide decision there. I think he could win a close decision, but I do believe a decision is possible. What does a victory mean for Sebastian Fundora? And it means everything. This is the only way Fundora is going to get a world title fight, is by mandating it. So a win over Lubin is going to be the biggest of his career, and it's going to, stamp a world title fight next for him. So it's huge. This is a win here is huge. What does a loss mean for Sebastian Fundora? And obviously, it's going to be the first loss of his career. It would be a devastating loss, but again, it depends on how he loses. If he goes out and he fights a close fight that he's in, and he either gets stopped, out of nowhere in a fight that he's winning, or he loses a close decision, it's going to be devastating, but he can climb back up on that horse and get back into it. People might say, hey, he's young, he just got outclassed, whatever. But if he goes out there and he gets knocked out and he gets wiped out, that's going to really, with his style, because he doesn't have an attractive style, he's got one of those styles that make it very difficult to win. I think it's going to be tough on him to try to get back into it. So he really needs to go out and put on a good performance if he wants to have an opportunity at victory in this fight. So, who is going to win, or no? Is it better for boxing if Fundora wins this fight, or if Lubin wins this fight? And I don't know. That's a tough question. Honestly, I didn't even think about that question, even though that's always on my breakdown videos. I didn't think about that question in advance. And I have to say that I don't know who it's better for to win this fight for boxing, because Lubin, it's probably Fundora, just because Fundora has such a fun and entertaining style. He's undefeated, and he is also a freak. The guy is 6'5" and a half, and he fights at 154 pounds. I mean, and that in itself is interesting. People are going to be like, damn, this fool is huge, and it's they're going to want him to win just so they can see him again. So I'd say it's better for boxing if Fundora wins, but I definitely don't think it's bad for boxing if Erickson Lubin pulls off the victory, because he's such a good boxer. But I will say Sebastian Fundora, it's probably better for boxing if he wins this fight. Now, what is my prediction? Who's going to win this fight between Erickson Lubin and Sebastian Fundora? The truth is, it's very close to 50-50 as you can be. This is a 50-50 fight down the middle. I really think it could go either way. I think both guys have a serious shot of pulling off this win. And what's funny is I think they could win any way. I think either guy can win a decision. It could be close. I think it's possible both guys could win a wide decision. I think either guy can win by knockout. But to be honest, I think Sebastian Fundora is flawed with his style. And I think if he goes out there and does what he normally does, Erickson Lubin is going to time him and he's going to catch him with something big. And the thing is can Lubin stay in that kind of fight and fight him off to land that big shot? That's the big question. And I don't know, but I think he might. I think he can. So I'm going to go with Erickson Lubin. I think he's going to stop Sebastian Fundora in the middle to later rounds, because I think he's gonna hit to the body when Fundora gets close. He's gonna land punches to the body. He's gonna create distance. He's gonna move, and then when Fundora tries to get in, he's gonna land big shots to the head as well. He's gonna counterpunch well, and I see him winning by a knockout win in the middle to later rounds. But again, that's just, that's only based on Fundora's flawed defense. His offense might stymie Lubin to where Lubin doesn't know what to do, and Lubin sits there and is confused, and he might be overwhelmed by Fundora's attack. His combination punching, the way he lets his hands go, his height and reach. If he decides to use his height and reach, that could defeat Erickson Lubin. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But I'm picking Lubin, but it's not by much. I think it's gonna be, it could really go either way. I'm really excited for this fight. Again, it takes place on Saturday, April 9th, in the main event of a Showtime card. You do not want to miss it. Erickson Lubin versus Sebastian Fundora, WBC Final Eliminator at 154 pounds, super welterweight. And that's what I got. That is the Lubin versus Fundora breakdown video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate any support. Thank you very much. Again, Lubin versus Fundora breakdown. True boxing. You've been hit with the truth.